using the different statistical methods out there, descriptive, inferential, and the like. Then you're conducting performance reviews to ensure that there is collaborative review of the project performance, and everyone understands the different course of action that is needed to be taken in case there is any changes to the project scope, or in case there is need to invest more effort to achieve the set targets for the project. Then still we are monitoring and controlling for closure of the project phases. Are they closing out? So, for example, when initiating, did the initiation happen well? Did you have the charter in place? If you didn't have the charter, what other documents did you have in place to be able to plan for this project? So after the planning process, what happened? Was the implementation done properly? And the like. So those are some of the still the processes within the process group of monitoring and controlling of the project work. Our time is fast spent, but we'll go through some of these still. We have elements of the performance that are used to perform integrated change control, these are the elements that are under the integrated change control process group. So we have change identification where you identify the need for change. This may be through requests from the different stakeholders, both internally and externally. It may be from the beneficiaries. It may be change may be from the prototyping process where you've tried to pilot the service or the product, and you see that its functionality or features are not up to standard. So these changes should be documented. So once a request is placed, it should be documented, and usually you have these change request logs that you use to document this. So once you have this documented, then you have the review change requests reviewed. So once these are reviewed and they are evaluated to see the impact on the scope, the timelines, and also the costs, then you move on to have the integrated change control boards discuss this and make a decision around the required change, either to reject or accept the change. And if the change is to be accepted, then if the change is accepted, then the change is implemented, and still you have to continuously monitor and document lessons learned from implementing this change. Then also provide a continuous improvement. So that is basically around the change control process group, which is one of the processes under the integration management of a project. So lastly, we have the elements of the closeout project or phase of a project. And this basically includes the project closeout criteria, how you're going to go about it. When do you start the closeout implementation of the project? Then you also have to seek for formal acceptance on the closure of the project. For example, if you're running, you've been implementing this project with donor funds, then you also have to look at seeking approval from the donors. Sometimes you may have money that isn't spent, and they may review and tell you to have a no-cost extension where they aren't giving you any funds, but they are giving you more time, meaning that they are making changes to their schedule such that they are able to implement the project until all the funds are spent. Or sometimes others may say, no, you just return our money. Then final deliverable verification. Here you're looking at what was in the baseline. The deliverables, were they all achieved based on the project management plan? And if not, then you should provide explanations as why that did happen. So you plan for transition, and transition planning involves many aspects. It may look at how you're going to transition and later the community continue implementing the project even without your funding. So you're looking at the different aspects of transition and how you will handle them. Then you're looking at the closure documents, compilation, making sure that all these documents are in place. These may be documents to do around the reports, documents to do around financial performance of the project, documents to do around reach and the like, and basically have all those the knowledge management products that you've developed during the project, and you have them all compiled. Then you have lessons learned. Documentation. These should be documented and shared widely within the institution, and also externally, because other individuals may want to adopt what you've done in this project during your project life cycle to their projects. So always ensure to share these. Then resource release, you're looking at, of course, getting closure of the project. You're releasing resources. You may not need employees anymore. You should have planned for their exit during the planning process. How will you get rid of these employees? For example, those working in the NGO sector. When the project ends and the contract is ending, how are you letting your employees go? Are you giving them a package? What are you going to do with the resources, other resources, vehicles of the project? Some donors require you to return them. Some donors require you to return the computers that you've used in the project. So that all should be in the plan, and it still goes back to what I said around the terms of contract, and that shows the terms and conditions the donor has, and also the charter. So that all resource, some donors may require you to bring back their resources or give them away to different institutions that you've been subgranting to. So there's so many scenarios that can happen around there. So it depends on the contract and the terms and conditions that the donor provided during the contract. So you're looking at the contract closure. So once you've released the resources, you're closing contracts with suppliers that you procured, and making sure that all these people are paid off, and the like. And then you're looking at the financial closure. You're looking at the actual spend and the planned spend of the project. We did go through some of those. Then you're looking at the closure report. Who is going to write? What sort of information is needed for the closure report? And usually these are different from the progress reports that we usually provide in the monitoring and control process group. Then you are looking at assessing the client's satisfaction. Were they are satisfied with the services or the product that you provided? What changes needed to be improved and the like. Then you're archiving project information. Nowadays, institutions are using cloud-based platforms to do this. They save all their information on cloud-based platforms. But then there are those that do not have such a capacity, but they do have archiving cabins where they store their information, and in case a different project comes in or a donor comes in, you can always provide this information as reference that you really do implement projects and they're successful. Then you're looking at formal project closure, writing to different stakeholders, informing them about the end date of the project activities, and end date of agreements with them. Then you may celebrate and also provide recognition for the different team members that have contributed to the success of the project. And then you may conduct post-implementation reviews. Basically, these are ad hoc where you just engage with the different stakeholders, beneficiaries, and ask them if they're still experiencing the outcomes of the project. And then you meet at some point conduct a final project evaluation. This may be at the end line, or it may be after the project has closed and some time has passed. And then you assess if the impact of the project is still within the communities. So we'll quickly go through the challenges and mitigating strategies. Common integration challenges: we have poor communication that we talked about, and we've seen that integration management is basically communication management, managing different stakeholders, lack of stakeholder involvement during the planning processes, during the implementation of the different activities. You're looking at scope creep, where you have different elements being added within the scope that were not initially there, or elements of the scope are not being implemented. Then you have inadequate resource management, and this, like we say, the different resources. If people do not have the expertise to manage the different resources, then the integration won't happen. Then unclear project objectives. You've heard of projects where people are implementing a different agenda compared to what the project objectives are saying. Then I have integration with external systems. This can be really challenging, especially, for example, if you're working with different information management systems and they need to share data. That can be really, really complex and challenging for project integration. And this can also lead to lags in information sharing and also information use. Then ineffective change management, where changes to the project scope, timeline, and costs are not effectively implemented, or they are not properly managed. Then I have insufficient project governance, where governance structures are not really in place. You've heard of projects where they say we need 3 project staff to operate in this region, and at the end of it all, you have 2, and then the 2 are struggling to run around the project implementation area. Then that also causes a challenge to integration management, because some activities won't be implemented or strategies won't be implemented the right way. Then limited functional collaboration. We talked about silos at the start of this lecture, where collaboration is key to integrate changes within the project. And then inadequate planning. Of course, if in case you miss out anything within the process groups, then you wouldn't have planned well, and the implementation won't go wrong, won't go the right way. So what are some of the strategies for overcoming these? For poor communication, you have to enhance communication and ensure that people are able to receive, people are able to share information across a project in a timely manner, where everyone gets to know what the project is doing. We talked about interdepartmental review meetings. You can conduct these as frequent as weekly, so that people get to know what is happening across the project. Then scope management, of course, that is key. You have to ensure that you stick to the planned costs, schedules, and the like of the project. Then stakeholder engagement, ensure that you frequently engage the stakeholders on the different activities that are going on within the project. Then we have effective resource planning. Of course, we've seen that without proper resource planning, then you won't be able to, you have gaps within your implementation. Then defining clear objectives. Let everyone know the objectives of the project, and let these objectives be aligned with the organization vision and goals. Then integrate with external systems. You can also make sure that you have platforms where you share information. You have platforms where you can provide you with the information that you need from the project. If need be, hire consultants to integrate your internal systems with the external systems. Then manage change properly. We've talked about the change management process of this. Ensure that there's fidelity within that change management process group. Then strengthen our project governance. Ensure that the different structures of the project are in place, such that the project is able to be implemented in the right way, and the information is able to flow in the right way. Comprehensively plan, continuously monitor and adopt. Continuously monitor the project and adopt the best practices from other projects. So still under the challenges we have, we can easily surely talk about the importance of proactive risk management. So what happens when you proactively manage your risk? You are able to identify risks in the early stages, meaning that you are able to also provide a response to those risks in an early when they are still at an early stage. Then enhance resilience within the project. This can be through different trainings for the project teams on risk management and other strategies out there, such that the teams are able, they are resilient in case any risk happens. They can easily mitigate it and or even overcome the challenge, and also build that resilience to achieve the project goals and objectives. Have improved that decision making. Let the decision making be collaborative, and let it follow the change management process group processes that we've highlighted. Manage costs and resources in an effective way that ensures that there are no spillage or wastages. Have controls in place, especially around costs and logistics. Enhance stakeholder confidence. Have the stakeholders trust in you. Build that rapport with the stakeholders such that they can easily communicate and provide feedback, and you can also easily communicate changes, and they can easily implement them. Prevention of project delays. Yeah, sometimes they're inevitable, but sometimes we should delegate and have these different project activities be kickstarted on time. Have improved communication. With this, you have to leverage technologies, and also you can also use people to really communicate the messages and the product and features of the project. Increase success rates. So once you manage your risk, then of course there is increased success of the project, since you can easily mitigate the risks that would cause any changes or to the scope or the cost, or increase the costs, or changes to the scope of the project. Alignment with the project objectives. Of course, once you've proactively managed the risks, then the project will be properly aligned, and then there shall be continuous improvement. Some of the best practices. I see we are 4 minutes in our time. Some of the best practices in integration management, we have establishing a strong project governance structure that we've talked about. Regular communication and collaboration with the different stakeholders. Then continuous monitoring and adopting of best practices and learnings from different projects or from the community. And then stakeholder engagement through the project life cycle. Continuously engage the stakeholders through the project life cycle. Thank you for your time. Any questions or comments? Thanks. Any questions or comments? Yes, Princess. Yes, Princess. Go ahead and unmute and ask your question. Princess, please. Firstborn Princess. Someone is using Firstborn Princess. Please go ahead and ask your question. Any comments? Rhoda says, please the class to 9 p.m. to 8 to 9 p.m. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Robert.
Thank you very much, Koloba Ronald. I just wanted to give my compliment to your presentation. It has been a very wonderful presentation. And I think something I will be looking forward to is the critical path in a project. And also the part I'm very much interested about is on the stakeholder management. How to go about it. You have, yes, you have elaborated on it. We needed to, I wanted something to do with, because, any given project, because a project is not a business plan. A project is why is it not a business plan? Because it has got definite time or a specific time within which it has to be completed. If it is not completed within that time, you find that now it falls out of then it becomes another thing all of a sudden, and then it becomes unmanageable. When it comes to stakeholders management, there are so many people who just emerge. They emerge from even nowhere. We can say they emerge from nowhere. There are those who demand this and that and that. And how do you incorporate them, or how do you manage such like people? Otherwise, thank you very much. And I'm happy to be part of this class. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Juma. I think Dr. Wilberforce and the CEO will put this in place such that we are able to elaborate more on your request for critical path planning and also with the business planning.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments? All right. If there are no questions or comments, then yes, doctor.
Thank you very much, Ronald Kuloba, for the lecture. It has been wonderful, informative, and very professional. As I asked you in the beginning, I hope you were recording so that we are able to circulate and people be able to revisit and understand. I have a question. You have spoken about why there is importance of project management. And I was wondering loud, then what will happen in the absence of project management? Will you be able maybe to mention to us and enlighten us, in any case, you run a project, but you do not necessarily feel or have project management skills, what will be the outcome of that? Thank you, Bwana Ronald.
Thank you, doctor, for that question. So once you don't have a project integration management within your project, then you will have different challenges, and one of them is there will be misalignment with the organizational goals. Your project objectives and your project objectives and goals should be aligned with your organizational goals. So if they are not aligned with your if the project objectives and goal are not aligned with the organizational goals, then you'll find that there is these silos. I talked about the silos, the communication gaps, where you're telling people we are supposed to conduct this activity, and then at the end of it all, people are conducting a different activity. And you find that the performance will be, at the end of it all, the performance of the project won't achieve the set targets and goals. So that is one of them. One of the things that may happen. What may happen is the communication between the stakeholders. Your information you're sharing with the stakeholders will be misaligned, because because there's that lack of management. There will be delays in implementation. The scope itself of the project won't be intact because now there is that misalignment. There's no alignment between the goal of the project and the organizational goal. So meaning that people will be conducting different activities. I don't know if you've ever seen a scenario. I know we've been on one of those projects and we've gone to implement, and the bosses in Kampala were telling us, you are supposed to you are supposed to have conducted this activity by now. But then we had not even done the inceptions with the districts to grant us access. And the bosses are telling us to run around the districts where we don't have permission to implement. So there will be that miscommunication. And once this miscommunication happens and these silos happen within a project or within the teams, then things to do with the motivation of employees happen. Then there is that lack of proper coordination of the activities. You find that the different people are conducting different activities that basically the whole process will be messed up. I would conclude it in that way. I don't know if I've responded to your question, Doctor.
Very well. I have seen the three people who have raised up the hands: Olira Jacqueline, Firstborn Princess, and others. But I just want a follow-up question. And before maybe I ask a follow-up question, I want to inform participants that for you to get a certificate for these trainings, you need 4 free trainings of every Friday. And you need also to fill attendance register, because that attendance register is the one that the office shall use to count how many trainings you have done. Then you also need to use correct names to be able to extract those names from attendance register to write to you the what we call the certificate of participation. Having said that, Ronald, I just want to have one more question, which is a follow-up question. Based on my experience in Kenyan setup of especially SMEs, these small, medium enterprises or projects, where people start, and because they start, they manage themselves, they manage the projects as themselves, as a family project. And in most cases, because of lack of employment in Kenya, you'll find that when an individual starts a small project, he or she will need to employ a relative or a close neighbor, even if that particular neighbor does not have skills in project management. What will be your take on this?
One is I don't think it is right for one to employ someone who doesn't have the skills in their given project. For example, the small scale businesses. However, it does provide an opportunity, especially for institutions like Basket One, to actually conduct trainings and support these individuals. In basic records management, at the basics of it, records management, financial management of the project, and basically customer care, because you find that most of them are selling and they are involved in sales. Customer care, how do they also improve? If it is a service, how do they improve, or how do they maintain their service at a given standard? And to me, that would be the right solution, because it's a general problem here in Africa, and people are faced with a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to employment. But the best alternative would be to train and provide these trainings, and also move these trainings from an academic viewpoint to more of a practical point. Move out there and design the curriculum with the people that you are going to train. Let them. We have what we call the human-centered design approach to development of projects, where you go out there and conduct data collection with these beneficiaries, and they design the features of the project, of the training, and then you are able to provide that training to scale it up and provide it wider range of people. To me, that is my take, Doctor.
Thank you very much. I have seen Wawere Jacob Wafula has also helped you. He says most people will employ relatives basically because some fields an outsider might mishandle, or rather issues to do with trust. In addition, one will evade employing a professional due to high salary scale. Unfortunately, such a project ends up flopping. That is the contribution of Wawere Jacob Wapula. Thank you very much, Wawere. Evangwe Enterprise, you will need to mute. There is Aliro. Aliro, what is your question, please?
Really, mine is not a question as such. I'll say I've learned a lot on projects. Just a minute. I'll say I've learned a lot, and this meeting, I mean, to me, it's been a great impact. Project integration management. Yeah, I've learned on planning, actual value, and all that. Yeah, some things I think they are connected with some. There's a unit I was learning before, because when you talked about risk management, yeah, and assessment, I think it's also in connection, or in connection with some things we're learning in communication, and others we're learning in, because I've done fashion also. So there's some connection anyway. So I'm really happy, and I've learned a lot. Mine is just a comment. It wasn't really a question as such. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
That feedback is very, very important, because the project expert from Uganda will be taking us and facilitating the next 2 more classes and or trainings, and the last one will be the 4th one, and that one we will also issue certificates. So when you are filling that attendance or register online, which is in the message box, kindly ensure that you put your correct email, because we shall send a scanned copy of email. Unless you are in Kenya here and you want a printed one, we will send it to you so that you are able to have it. There is Firstborn Princess, please. Your hand is up. Firstborn Princess, are you there? Firstborn Princess, is any other question to the speaker? I've seen Ann Temba. You are asking about what the NGO deals with. Community Breakthrough Support Mission is an international NGO which deals with the youth and women empowerment program. It deals with the agriculture program. It has alternative shelter, and it runs children homes. It has schools, both primary, secondary schools, and the schools for physically and mentally challenged children. And they are offering this program for free. They approached Basket One to partner with free trainings as a way of empowering the local community And after the training, they ask that we issue certificates, and we are looking for more partners who want to provide their skills back to the community. I want to thank Global Ronald, who is using his experience from Uganda in project management, and we in Kenya can now also be able to learn and understand. And I'm sure I've seen some people from Dubai who are attending this training, and therefore we really, really appreciate. We might be learning from the training themselves in terms of some technology challenges, but we thank God that today we did not have a challenge with the internet from where Ronaldo was training from. Any other question or clarification? Kindly, as we speak, fill in this form, attendance register. It's important for your to register your presence. Today we had more than 30 people. First point princess is saying my mic cannot unmute, but the question have been answered from the question other people have asked, which is very, very good. That is very good. That is well understood. Any other clarification? Basket One CEO has informed me to say that the link you have used today is the same link you will use in the next two trainings, and you are free to share to your friends to join, but they will only get certificates after they have attended four trainings. That is the arrangement Basket One, NITA, and the CPSM have, so that we are able to thank you. Welcome, Mr. Wekesa. What we are also saying that the next topics after Ronald Kulobo has finished the project integration is a long topic, but he will finish in the next 2 Fridays. The suggestions on what topic you want us to train, we have enough experts. We will be able to pick up the topics in project management, in project design, project planning, project implementation, project resource mobilization, project information system management, and also monitoring and evaluation. Any topic in those areas related with the project, we will be able to deal with them without a problem. We will have experts from Kenya, from other countries like Uganda, to continue offering their free services. And really, Ronald, we appreciate for you to be part of free programs to give your time and support this community breakthrough support mission. Thank you very much. Evanis Wangwe, you have a question? Evanis Wangwe. Evanis Wangwe, your hand is up. Then Choho, please. Okwang. Choho Okwang.
Thank you so much, Dr. William, and our brother Ronald for sharing a very insightful information. It has been a very wonderful presentation. But to you, Mr. Ronald, regarding the question you asked Dr. William, the question you asked Ronald about whether you can manage a project when you don't have project management knowledge, I would answer you in a very simple way that can you go to the garden without an hoe to dig? Will it be possible really for you to dig well, or you will just start weeding some, plucking some weeds with your hands, and probably after plucking like 10, you get so tired? that would be the answer to you. So currently, I'm doing a short course on project planning and management, and I've learned that you can't just say you are going to manage a project when you don't have those skills. Those skills are technical, and you need to know how to actually put them into action very well. So probably alongside this, I would recommend some of us to make use of the Google project management because it's very rich with content. Obviously, some of the questions you are asking can be answered very well there, complementing with what Mr. Ronald will be delivering to us. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I wish all of you well.
Thank you, Joe. That is well informative. Yes, it's difficult to call to the curtain without, in Kenya we call it a chembe, without a hole, and that is well understood that you need, you know, in Kenya there is a saying which we say, if you think trainings or learning is expensive, try the cost of ignorance. Where our constitution in Kenya says ignorance is not a defense in court of law. So I agree with you. Any other clarification, question? And normally the design we have done is that Ronald, once he has finished training, he will be part of the signatories to your certificates. He will sign your certificates. The reason why we are insisting that, please, if you have not filled the attendance register, which is online there in the message box, kindly do and submit, because when we submit the certificates to Global Ronald to sign, we will also submit the names and those forms so that he can confirm that we have not issued certificate to somebody who never participated in training, and therefore, appending his signature, he will not be very much comfortable. So kindly ensure you have signed. Back to you, Ronald. If there is anything else is pending, we'll be happy to hear from you.
Yes, Doctor, maybe to give a glimpse of what I'm going to handle next week, I'll be handling project scope management, project schedule management, project cost management, and project quality management. As part of the knowledge areas that I feel that individuals should be knowing. Then the rest of the others, project resource management, project communication management, project risk management, project procurement management, and project stakeholder management will be handled in the other session.
Thank you very much. That is well understood. This is a professional training course. It does not have exam. It's like a seminar, and this kind of webinar, we participate, we raise questions. When you see the example, because by tomorrow or Monday, we'll be circulating on social media in both Uganda, Sudan, Somali, Ethiopia, and Kenya. When you have any question, when you see the topic, and you have something, a question, just write it down. And when our facilitator continues, you are able to raise those questions and the clarification is sought. We really thank those who are participating, even in answering the questions. There is nobody who knows everything. Completely, none of us knows everything. There is somebody who have, like what Okwang Joe has answered to me in a very simple way. Besides my 7 or 6 degrees that I have, I could not produce that answer. And therefore, I've learned from him. So we keep on at this age in error, we learn from each other. We don't just feel that we are learning from Ronald. We want also to get responses, challenges, so that even Ronald, as he's facilitating the training, can learn from us. Otherwise, I want to take this opportunity to thank you, to remind you again that kindly fill the attendance register. Secondly, the link you have is the same link for the next 2 trainings, and you are free to share to your friends so that they also join. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Unless there is something, asanteni sana.
Okay.
Thank you.